Hi guys, so today I want to predict the whole of the EFL for the next football season, 26-27. Basically, I thought of this idea while I was just walking around doing trolleys like I usually do at the weekends, and I was just bored, so I was just predicting it all in my head. So let's get into it. So first off, I've actually got some rules for my predictions in this video because I don't want to just predict the teams everyone else is predicting. Also, I've not looked at the bookies for predictions because that defeats the object of this, because I want this to be a bit fun, and to test my own knowledge about what I know. So my rules are for this video that I cannot predict last season's champions to win the league again, which was Arsenal, so I had to pick a different champion. Also, the three newly promoted teams from each league, or 4 or 2 depending on which league it is, I cannot predict more than one of them to go back down to the division they came from. Also, it goes the other way. So basically, the 3 teams which are being relegated from that division, I can only pick one of them to go straight back up. So basically, that makes this video a lot more interesting, in my opinion. So for my title winners, I've actually gone for Manchester United. The reason is, I cannot back City to win the league because I'm a United fan and they're weakened now because Pep Guardiola was there for 10 years. I just don't think that club's going to be the same without him. Honestly, he's up there with the GOAT debate with Alex Ferguson. Arsene Wenger is the best Premier League managers of all time. And also, I can't see anybody else competing for the league other than United. I think everybody else, like Liverpool, Chelsea, all need too big of a rebuild. So I think we can do it United. We just need to get a few midfielders in, like Anderson, or I'd go for the midfielder from Palace, Wharton would be my option. I think we also need a centre half because we're a bit light on centre halves, and we need a left back. But we definitely need midfielders because Casemiro and Ugarte, I think, will be out the door. And for the 3 relegations in the Premier League, I'm going to go 20th Hull. For the reason of, I just think what they did last season was miraculous. I just think they had a transfer embargo and they were one of the teams tipped for relegation last year. Yet, despite all odds, they've got promoted with quite an ageing team, really. A lot of cast-offs from, say, Sheffield United, like Ollie McBurney. But yet they've done it. So I really don't want them to go down, but I can't see them getting more than 20, 25 points. They just won't be able to financially compete. So I'm sorry, Hull. 19th, I've gone with, this is quite controversial. Well, I've gone for Leeds because I'm not convinced by Daniel Farke still. I just think, he was a bit stubborn with Leeds until he changed that formation to 3-5-2 after the City game in November, December. I know they won a lot of games after that Leeds and they were brilliant, but I don't know, I just could see when things start going wrong again, they might sack him and then they might, I don't know, I can't see Leeds staying up. 18th I've gone with Crystal Palace. Now, I know that's very controversial, but I think losing Glasner is just massive. He's won 3 trophies in such a short amount of time when they hadn't won trophies in years. And I think when they're in the Europa League, so I think they're going to struggle to compete in the Premier League as well. I just don't think their owner's going to spend enough money on players. Also, I think they're going to lose some important players. I think they've already lost Gueye earlier in the season. I think they're going to lose Wharton, possibly Mateta as well. And I just can see them going downhill, Palace. And I've stuck to what I said, that only one promoted team I'm going to send back down, so it's only Hull that's going down. Ipswich and Coventry are staying up for me. Now for the Championship, my winners of the Championship are West Ham. It's probably my easiest pick on this entire video, maybe. The financials they've got compared to everybody else in the Championship is stark. The stadium is 60,000. I don't think I've ever seen a stadium so big in the Championship. I think they'll get huge fees for like players like Jared Bowen, well, not, but substantial fees. Also like Somerville, many others to be fair. Yeah, and I think they'll reinvest, and I think they'll walk it. Probably get 100 points for me. Second place in the Championship, I've gone with Middlesbrough because I actually rate their manager quite a lot. So I've seen them play a few times this season, and they play a really good attacking brand of football. They just look like they need a bit of a striker for me because they create a lot of chances but just don't score them. I know they had like the highest XG in the season. I know I'm being stats nerd there, but I think XG does matter kinda. So yeah, I think Kim Hellberg's going to get Middlesbrough promoted. Right, in the playoffs, I'm going to go with... Now this is difficult because I was thinking between Wrexham and Birmingham just because of the powerhouses they've got money-wise. I've gone with Birmingham just because they edge out Wrexham slightly financially. And I just think it's a matter of time before Birmingham gets to the Premier League under Tom Brady. Some of the players they've signed last season were ridiculous. Like, they signed a German international, Marvin Duksch, I think. Like, they're going to get promoted. Now, for the Championship relegations, I've gone with finishing rock bottom on 24, Blackburn Rovers. Because I just think the club's been run to the ground. Because I've heard the owners are crap. I just can't see them staying up for me. So, yeah. I don't know too much about Blackburn though. 23rd, I've gone with Lincoln City. Now, I really want Lincoln City to stay up. I know they got 103 points in League One, but they lost their manager, Michael Scabala. It's hard to say his name. And I just don't think they can recover from that because he was the reason they got promoted. And they're a pretty small club, to be honest. I just don't think they're going to have the financials to compete. So, 22nd, and my last relegation spot for the Championship, I've gone with Portsmouth. The only reason here, really, is because they've just narrowly stayed up the last 2 seasons. And I just can't see them doing it for the 3rd time. So, yeah, there's no other reason. I know the manager's pretty decent, but sorry, Portsmouth. Now, for the League One title winners, I've gone with Luton. I know they massively underperformed last season, not even getting to the playoffs, despite doing back-to-back relegations. I think this season, though, they're going to flex their financial muscles and spend some of the money that they've made over the sales over the years, and are just going to destroy League One. So, yeah. Second place, I've gone with Oxford. Now, I know that's a bit maybe controversial because people are thinking, why have I not got Leicester in the top 2? Now, I think Leicester are in a big mess. So for me, Leicester finishing the playoffs, max, because the club's going downhill. I think they've got financial problems because they had a 6-point deduction last season, didn't they? Half the team's going to be sold from this season because it's such on huge wages in the Championship. And I don't think Oxford will sell many players. I think they can reinvest pretty well. They have a very good manager who massively overperformed at Wycombe when they were in League One. So, for me, it's written in the stars. I think they're getting promoted. Now, my playoff winners in League One are actually Plymouth Argyle. And I have a reason for this. Because, like Luton, they finished off the league last year so well. But D's even better than Luton. Like, Plymouth Argyle were bottom of the league in December. Like, I thought they'd do back-to-back relegations. Like, they're in a serious mess. They finished just outside the playoffs. And I'm actually a Stockport County fan. And I was saying before the playoffs, I'm so glad we didn't have to play Plymouth or Luton in the playoffs. Because I think if Plymouth or Luton had got in the playoffs last season, I think they would have won because of the momentum and form they had. By the way, my heart actually wants Stockport County to go up and thinks they should go up, but I follow my heart too much with these sort of predictions, so this time I'm actually trying to use a bit of logic. Because I just think County will get weaker next season. I think we'll get into playoffs, but our Wembley record is shocking, so that's why I'm not backing us, even though they're my second team. Also, this week I literally just bought a Plymouth Argyle shirt, so I feel like that is kind of written in the stars. Mind you, I said that it was written in the stars for Oxford. I think I should stop saying that term. But I love my Plymouth shirt. I only got it for £9, so bargain. Also, they had the top scorer in League One last season, I think. It was Tollage. I think they'll probably sell him, but they'll get big money for him so they can reinvest on the rest of their team. So I think they're going to be financially powerful, Plymouth, next season. Also, money they got from being in the Championship recently. Now my football knowledge is going to start to get weak with the League One relegations and League Two. So my team that's going to finish in 24th in League One, I've gone with Wimbledon. Now, I don't know a lot about Wimbledon, but I know they've got a weak budget and they narrowly survived last season. But they actually finished the season pretty poorly, if I remember. Now, I know they've got a decent striker. I think he's called like Matt Stevens or something. They might sell him and get some decent money or keep him. They might have a chance of staying up with him. But I don't really know much else about Wimbledon. Sorry. 23rd, I've gone for Peterborough. Now, I think Peterborough have been in free fall for quite a few seasons now. They're generally known to do really well in League One, to be fair, but I know they've sold most of their amazing assets they had, because I know Peterborough's a selling club. They once had Ivan Toney, Peterborough. I mean, like, some of the players they've had over recent seasons is ridiculous. I know Luke Williams, who they've got, is a really good manager, but can they keep hold of him for the entire season? Or someone poach him? I don't know. But not confident about them at all. 22nd, now I've gone with Cambridge. Now, I was contemplating all the 4 teams come up from League Two. I was contemplating keeping them all up, but I thought, no. I've gone a bit with club size of this prediction because I just don't think Cambridge can necessarily attract top players. I know their manager's called Neil Harris. He did really well with Millwall. Now, that's why I'm thinking they could stay up, but for me, they're going to go down. And I wanted to keep Bromley up, even though I thought Bromley might go down. I just think the story of their club, how far they've come, it'd just be really, really good to see Bromley stay in League One. I mean, they were in the National League for the first time ever when Leicester won the league, by the way. And now Leicester and Bromley are both in League One together. What a story. Now, for my last relegation spot, this was difficult, this one. But Burton have been so close to going down every single year. But this time, I think they're just going to get sucked into it this year. They've done amazing still for so many years, Burton. Being a small underdog club. But yeah, I don't really know much else about Burton, but that's all I'm going off. The fact they've been so close to going down. So sorry, Burton. Now, they're doing the final league of the EFL that I'm covering, League Two. So, my League Two winners, I've gone with Port Vale. I think they're the biggest club that got relegated from the League One, even though they only came 23rd. I just think they're going to become the new League Two, League One yo-yo club. And they can afford to give 5-year contracts for, say, Darren Moore, who they had. So I know they've got a bit of money. And also they've got Robbie Williams as higher up there, I think. So yeah, they can splash the cash a bit, Port Vale, I think. In second, in League Two, I've gone with Chesterfield. Now, I think these are a fairly ambitious club. And they're one of the bigger clubs in League Two now as well. And they've been sort of around the playoff zone the last few seasons. But I think they're going to step it up this year, Chesterfield, and go up. But not much other reasoning behind that. Now for the third and last automatic spot in League Two going up, I've gone with York City. Now that might sound a crazy prediction, but if you look at how well teams have done coming up from National League in recent years, it's not that crazy. I think York, at the very minimum, will come top half of League One. Not League One, League Two. They got 108 points in a good National League, which has got a very good top end these days. And it's a very hard league to get out of, the National League. Plus, I know they've got a striker, York City, who scored about 30 goals. Now, the last striker who scored that many goals in National League, I think, was Michael Cheek. And look how he stepped up in League Two with Bromley. And Bromley have gone up. So I could see York City sort of doing a Bromley kind of thing. Plus, York City are actually got quite a lot more finances than Bromley, so it's definitely feasible they can go up. Now for the playoffs in League Two, and the 4 teams go up, I've gone with Salford. Now these again, like Chesterfield, I feel like they're just always up there. I remember they were up there even when County were in League Two. And, you know, the finances they've got Gary Neville, Roy Keane as like higher ups. I just think it's a matter of time before Salford go to League One. I suppose it's a bit of a boring prediction, but safe. Now for the League Two relegations, there's only 2 spots here, so this was very hard for me to choose these. Well, not very hard because my knowledge is so limited at the bottom end of League Two, but I decided instinctively that one of Tranmere, Newport, Crawley, and Cheltenham are going down because I just feel like they're low every season, really. Well, not Crawley, but the others just are always near fighting relegation. So for 24 spots, I've gone with Newport. I just think they've been barely surviving, so that's the only reason I've got Newport there. No other reason. And for 23rd, I've gone with Crawley. Now, if you look at that, that's quite a stark fall from being in League One to going down to the National League. But if you look at recent years, a lot of teams that have got relegated from League One have done really poor in League Two. I mean, look at the 4 that got relegated last year from League One to League Two. Only one of them went back up to League One, and that was Cambridge. And Shrewsbury and Bristol Rovers, who were relegated from League One in the 24-25 season, they were close to getting relegated as well as Crawley. Anyway, that's all my predictions for this video. And it's a long video, to be fair, but I can just go on and on and on about football. I apologise if I've waffled a bit too much in this video. But anyway, I'll reflect on these predictions at the end of next season. Hopefully I've got at least 1 right prediction per league. That's the least I hope for here. Anyway, I really enjoyed making this video. I'll see you soon with more videos. Goodbye now.